Hello, welcome back. I haven't streamed for 3 days. I have a perfect excuse for that. So hear me out. Uh, I I was busy with some commissions. Uh, though I don't normally open it, but someone asked me to, so that's that. And also, yesterday I just realized that my OneDrive, which is where I back up a lot of photos from my vacations or I don't know, like the data gatherings and old projects. For some reason, they all got wiped out. Well, I use my university's account and I miss the email because I never checked them. And OneDrive doesn't really want me for some reason. That they reduce the capacity, right? So it used to be that they give me 1 terabyte, and then they reduce them to 100 gigabyte, and then like last month they reduced it to 1 gigabyte. So that's even less than my personal free OneDrive account. So don't know what's up with that. Anyway, they did warn in the emails that I failed to look that they would the Microsoft may permanently delete any data that exceed the 1 gigabyte, right? But what happens to me was they wiped everything, like not even 1 megabyte was left. And then I don't know, that feels like a lie to me, don't you think? Because they said they'll reduce from 100 gigabyte to 1 gigabyte, and and they said that if I exceed the 1 gigabyte, they may delete the portion of the data that exceed the 1 gigabyte. But but in the end, they wiped all of them. None were left alive. Shouldn't that just be? Shouldn't that be at least like a 1 gigabyte or a bit less? Still there, but now we'll just wipe them off. Like I signed in and I thought that I signed to the wrong account because it looks so new. Oh, new doesn't mean the UI is new, but all the files are gone. Amazing. Curtis, hello. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the head part. So yeah, that's why I didn't stream. I was assessing the damage from this sudden data wipe out. I did back up some data, but that was like back in 2020. So from 2020 to 2025, it's like a huge black hole of data now. I I emailed to the admins because yes, here's how Microsoft works apparently for the OneDrive. You can't contact them directly unless you're like a business customer to the OneDrive. But since I use the OneDrive from the university, so I I could contact the admin of the university's IT to try to fix them, or if they can't, then they can contact Microsoft. But I like I can contact the Microsoft by myself. You, I like normal customers or free customers are good. Well, they're not customers, sorry, if they're free. But anyway, free users or me as a well, it's not really employee, but I don't know what we call. Like I'm part of the university like students or teams. So I have to rely on admin, or I could just post on the forum, which I search the forum and someone has similar problems as mine, and they just advise that I should contact admin anyway. So here's hoping, because it's Sunday now, and of course no one works on Sunday as you do, as I hope. So we'll see how it goes on Monday or Tuesdays. But I don't really hold that much hope because, well, I don't know. It is what it is. I already went through like 5 stages of grief, so yeah, I'm okay. Not perfect, but it's okay. I think a lot of things that are lost are like photos from the vacation that I would regret. Also, some old projects or homeworks. That was a shame because sometimes my friends or my juniors might want those old data from me, but oh well. I don't really. I think in the span of 5 years, I was never the one who accessed it by myself, so I'm not too bummed about it. And the vacations, I actually don't like taking photos. Sometimes I do, but it's mostly it's my sister who take photos, so that's fine too. And there was like a damn my some part of my old projects that I really like, and I thought that I backed it up in the hard disk, but then I checked and apparently not. Awesome. Oh well, but it is what it is, right? I don't. I'm not. I don't really attach to things much. I mean, it's gone, it's gone. I don't, but I'll try my best to get it regardless. Because I like collecting like old data, sometimes for no reason. Like if I like surf the internet and I saw something like here's the old stuff that you can't find anywhere else, and I uploaded it so anyone can download it. I would just download it without without any like actual reason. Not like I want to use it, but I don't know. It's like I like archiving stuff, I guess. So sometimes because I think I would use them in the future, even if I don't in the end for 5 or 10 years. But whatever. I mean, I'm not too bummed about it, but I do feel some regret. Also, yeah, I'm taking this sort of a soft rant because I want you to. Because a wise man once said, well, man or woman, I don't know, said a cloud server is just someone else's computers. Now, when I heard or read that the first time, I thought they meant that I thought it was a attack on the reliability English of the servers. But I thought, okay, they must have like RAID system, right? Like a redundant hard disk and data system. I forgot that reliability is not the only thing in question, right? Because when you store your data on someone else's computer, sometimes for no reason they might delete it. And this is the day that I just realized that happened. that they could just delete your data without telling you. Cool. But yeah, so cloud servers very convenient if you work on multiple computers, but don't get it twisted. They advertise like cloud data storage as a storage, right? I wouldn't call them storage. I would call them like it's more like temporary storage. It's like I think cloud storage are like backpacks that you can stuff your things around and carry it around. But don't misunderstand that it's a secure like storehouse, right? I think you should get your own hard disk for your long-term storage. Learn that the hard way. Don't trust and don't trust companies because one of these days they'll probably make you regret it. Anyway, end of the rant. Also, the commissions went swimmingly, I guess. I like. I don't open for commissions, but sometimes people like my drawing for some reason, so I'm okay with that. I don't know, maybe one of these days I might open a commission, but who knows. But not now because I'm busy with my university's stuff. Anyway, to Umineko, I miss them so much. I forgot some of it. I have to rewatch some of the VOD, my own VOD, to know what happened. So far, Beatrice, she actually came to the place. Don't know if it's the real deal or someone's masquerading as her. Because originally in the last episode there were only 18 people, and now she's the 19th person out of nowhere. Sounds legit. Also, for some reason, she have not appeared in front of Batola yet, which I assume that Batola is the main character, and they were fighting like with magic and witches are real deal as far as Kenjima, this island and mansion is concerned. Okay, so I think this is lunch. Is it lunch or dinner? I don't remember. It's dinner. Okay, it was calf steak now, if I remember correctly. Yes? Yes. And the adults are going to discuss about Beatrice's and the inheritance. So they shoo away the young cousins. And I think now we are in the guest house, I believe. There we go. Hideyashi's claim that appetizing doubled the taste was apparently right. The kids and Nanjo, who had been chased out of the guest house, had gathered in the cousin's room and were eating the cake that Kumasawa had brought there for dessert. It was both wonderful and high class, with lavish amounts of cream and decorated deliciously with fruits. But even though it was delicious, for some reason it didn't taste quite as good. I thought Goda went with you guys. I believe you. Ooh? Yeah, yes, Maria. It was made from mackerel. Well, with some attitude, you can. Oh no, she's here. Oh no.
サバの絞り汁に小麦粉と卵を混ぜて焼き上げるとふっくら焼き上がるのでございますよ。
For sure.
それが本当ならすごいね。お父さんの店の新メニューにサバケーキとか登場するかもしれないよ。
サバって栄養満点でヘルシーっぽいイメージがあるしよ。女性とかお年寄りに人気が出たりしてな。俺は食わねえけどよ。
女はそんなゲテモノは食わねえぜ。
年寄りも遠慮したいところですが。
美味しいんですけどね。
You said that like you have eaten it before. Kumasawa was really raising the mood with the mackerel jokes that were her specialty. But the sound of downpouring rain invariably focused the concern on the mystery guest. Has it been 3 streams without murder? I hope it happens now. In the end, they ended up showering Maria with questions again, since she was the only person here to have met Beatrice. Ooh.
まさかあの話が本当だったとはね。
その口ぶりだとマリアが魔女に会ってたって話は信じてなかったまでにも初耳じゃねってことらしいな。
Also, she did tell someone else. How is it that Beatrice, well, quote unquote Beatrice, could meet Maria and no one else have seen, well, Maria with someone else that are not one of the 18?
ああ、夢見がちなお年頃のよくあるおとぎ話くらいに思ってたぜ。
いる。ベアトリーチはいる。
Yeah, we know.
毎年親族会議に来るたびにマリアは会って一緒に遊んでた。
Yeah, she said we play together, but how long and why hasn't anyone else see that? Where did you play? In the toilet?
そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様は普段はお姿をお見せになりませんけど。
And yet she showed up in front of Maria. I guess she really hates Maria. That's why she keeps brainwashing and gaslighting Maria.
心が綺麗で素直な方の前にはひょっこり姿を現していたずらをすることもあるそうですからね。
Because Maria is honest. Of course. Yeah, but clean hearts? Boy, Kumasawa, you have to see the first episode. Beatrice was a name which referred to the being in that fairy tale about the Lokenjima witch. Because the family and the servants publicly accepted the image of the witch of Kinso's delusion to keep him in good mood, it became established as Lokenjima's fairy tale or maybe ghost story. To the family members who knew that history, the fairy tale of the Golden Witch didn't have much substance. However, they hadn't been able to say that in front of Kinso. So to those who didn't know the history, like young Maria for example, it definitely wasn't unsubstantial, but a real legend of a witch. So Maria believed in the legend of the witch. She swallowed it whole. Why would you say that? That was natural for an imaginative girl who believed in witches, so no one said anything to betray her dream. On the contrary, they arranged things together to get her excited about her dreams.
だからマリアちゃんがベアトリーチェにもらったお菓子と言って僕らに見せびらかすことがあっても、多分誰かがそういうことにしてマリアちゃんの手提げの中にこっそり飴玉でも忍ばせたのだろうって思ってた。
Yes,
私
man.
も昔に2度か3度そういうふりをして。
You can do magic trick? I actually did not expect that from him.
こっそりお菓子を置いてあげたことがあります。おそらく熊沢さんにも、いや使用人の皆さんや後ろ宮家の皆さんも一度や二度はあるんじゃないでしょうか。
Why would you do this to an impressionable young but not what do you call, like, because she's 9 years old and she still believes in magic? That's concerning, right? Why would you do this to, well, someone who is like this?
無邪気な小さい子が喜ぶなら口裏を合わせてお菓子を置いてくこともあるか。ってことはジョージの兄貴なんかだいぶやってそうだな。
I feel like they're the one who makes Losa works even harder.
まあね。
Oh, so you did? Cool. Admitting that would probably be only fine. Georgie admitted it while being extremely wary that Maria didn't find
つ
out.
まりサンタクロースみたいなもんか。子供の夢を守るために両親がグルで嘘をついて寝静まったこの枕元にプレゼントを置いていたと。
子供の夢って守ってあげたいし、私は当然サンタなんていないってとっくに知ってるわけだけど、もし覚めなくてもいい夢だったなら一生信じていたかったぜ。
I don't know if Japanese people tell stories about Santa Claus to their children. My family certainly did not.
世の中は世知辛いばかりだと知ってしまうからこそ、大人はせめて子供の綺麗な夢を守ってやりたいと思うものです。
Why? They'll be tempted in the future anyway, so who cares?
ベアトリーチェはいるの？いる！
Oh, for God's sake, someone take her away!
いますとも。ベアトリーチェ様はおりますよ。この前もですね、サバを干して紅茶の出汁に使おうとしておりましたら、そこへひょっこり。
Really, you need to sneak that in. Cool. Thanks, Kumasawa.
まあつまりこういう調子だったはずなんだけどね。
つまりマリアを除けば誰も信じてなかったはずの魔女ってわけだ。
少し言葉が足りないね。信じてなかったんじゃない。信じさせてあげようとしたんだ。
What does that mean? So this was about not betraying a child's innocence. She's 9. She's 9 years old, by the way. But Santa doesn't exist in reality. If you don't want them to be all disappointed when they learn that, you should just not give them the dream in the first place. True. Did I think like that because I was still a long way from becoming a full adult? Nah. But I had finally attained a level of understanding about the truth of true form of the Lokenjima witch. But the current situation lay on an even higher level of understanding than that, and overturned all its premises.
という認識だったはずの魔女のベアトリーチェ様が実際に現れちまったと。そういうことか。しかもだ、おじさんたちの騒ぎを見る限りどうも招かれた客でもないらしい。こりゃ面白そうな話だぜ。
ベアトリーチェという女性が実在しないという前提は実は存在しない。ルドルフおじさんも言っていた悪魔の証明そのものだよ。ベアトリーチェと名乗る女性の存在を僕たちは誰も知らなかった。
Also, it's just a fancy way of saying you can't prove, well, it's more difficult to prove a negative, I guess.
でもだからといってそれがベアトリーチェが実在する可能性を否定できるわけじゃない。
I guess. Yeah, for now.
南條先生はじい様との付き合いが長いですよね。
Where?
一時期 親族会議でクラウスさんたちに随分と聞かれた話ですな。その昔、金蔵さんにベアトリーチェという愛人がいて、その隠し子がいるのではないかという話です。
Yeah, the hidden child is the interesting one.
なるほどな。
Because I don't think let's assume that 19% really exists, right? I don't think it's the mistress. They would be so old, unless they use that money for plastic surgery or something. I don't know.
親父たちは遺産分配で頭がいっぱいだ。
Maybe Kumasawa was the mistress all along. Oh no. Liu, it fits, right? She's here as a part-timer. She quits a lot, returns a lot. Okay, maybe not, but you know. Wait. But Batala. Okay, Batala did see her before. Oh wait, the premise was that someone disguised as Beatrice. Yes. Okay, so the question is, can Kumasawa do it? Put on the blonde wig. Oh, it's Maria, it's me, Beatrice. Let me give you some mackerels as a gift.
そこに愛人の娘なんてのが現れれば、面倒なことになるのは火を見るより明らかってわけだ。
クラウスさんたちも最初は源氏さんに聞かれたのでしょう。
And he said no, right?
しかし源氏さんは金蔵さんに忠誠を誓う側近で、多分私よりも金蔵さんが心を許す親友です。
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust Genji word on that.
源氏さんは多分何も語らなかったのでしょう。
Wait, in the first episode, I was having like insane theory about the motive because I think Canon or Genji is the murderer, but then I lean into Canon more because of the the gospel house, because I thought that it was the Ushinomiya like business that led to Canon's family downfall, and maybe Canon's parents like kill themselves. So Canon was left orphan. Then Kinso bring Canon in to the gospel house for the orphans, and then Canon was so angry and he was doing this. Yeah, what if Canon is the offspring between Kinso and Beatrice? Would that work? But maybe he works with Shannon, so maybe he seduced Shannon somehow. So Shannon helps impersonating Beatrice while Canon do the killings. Maybe? I don't... So
そ
confused.
れで次に古い友人である私の方に話を聞こうということになったのでしょうな。
で、
So now we have two insane theory on the motive.
結論として南條先生、じい様にベアトリーチェという愛人はいたんすか？
Yeah, tell it straight to me, doctor. Ooh.
おりました。
Oh! But Takechi says no in the first episode.
いえ、私は会ったことはありませんぞ。
So oh wait, did he has a mistress, not offspring? Damn it!
ですが、そういう女性と交際があったと金蔵さんから聞かされたことはありました。
Doctor, I don't care about that. I want to know.
相当昔にお亡くなりになられたそうで。
Yeah. What about the babies?
死んだ。その間に子供がいたとか。
It comes.
それはわかりません。
Yes.
ただ金蔵さんはベアトリーチェを蘇らせるために研究をしていると常々言っておりました。
What does that mean? Or is it like is it like in Lesser where you hope to like transfer souls to wait, was it Lesser? I think that was like an anime or game that they have a child for the sole purpose of transferring their own souls into their own child, and then they keep doing this over and over again. I think that was a plan. Damn, I don't know which anime or game was it. Cause my short memories.
普通は愛人を失い忘れがたみがいたならばそちらにその分の愛情を注ぐものです。
A good point. Where's that
で
child?
すから金蔵さんとベアトリーチェの間に子供はいなかったろうと私たちは自然に考えました。
Well, maybe the mistress won custody and never returned. My eyes! Really?
んってことは、それも悪魔の証明になっちまうな。
That we can't prove that there's no child or children, who knows, right? Maybe all of the gospel house are Beatrice's and Kinso's children. Wow, that makes sense.
なるぜ。愛人との間に子供がいなかったことは証明不能。現にこうして現れた以上、いたってことになっちまうわけか。
少し暴力的な理論だね。
Why? What, you think it's the mistress? Okay.
後宮家の遺産問題でトラブルが生じていることを聞きつけ、何者かがおじい様の大昔の愛人関係を知り、
I think that's a weaker reasoning because no one here, well, at least no one here claims to know about Beatrice. So if I take Georgie's reasoning, then I would be even more sure that it's one of the 18 person, right? Because who else would know about Kinso's and his mistress? Where's Genki? Well, either Genki or Komasawa, right? Like, at least. So, there we go. Now, I feel like I'm even more sure that Genki is in on it.
それを装って遺産問題に食い込もうとしているとかの方が現実的だよ。
I believe you.
現実的ではある。
I believe Georgie's in the context of it was one of the 18 person.
しかし、本当に彼女が隠し子で。
And that's true as well.
しかもその上、じい様に顧みられなくて、孤独に生き、復讐に帰ってきたって設定も否定はできねえよな。
Forgotten? I thought we reasoned that Kinso would love the child so much. How would they be forgotten? Okay. What would be the motive of murder for the child between Kinso and Beatrice in this case. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Maybe Georgie's reasoning is better. I don't know.
復讐なんだよそれ。
Yeah, true. Where did that come from?
ああ、すまんすまん。男なんだよ。ついつい面白そうな方に脚色しちまうぜ。妙なドラマの見過ぎだな。
Normally, that would have been a light joke, but it had come when a mystery guest calling herself Beatrice, who no one had invited, had marched in on the day of the family conference, the day of the inheritance distribution discussion, which even without the witch was threatening to become a bloodbath. There was no way that Batora's joke would be welcomed with laughter, so it was a really big help when Nanjo laughed energetically to calm everyone down.
なるほどなるほど。それはなかなか面白そうですな。そんな筋書きの小説をぜひ読んでみたいものです。
Ooh, how meta. We're reading it right now.
まあ、現実にはそんなことはできねえと思う。何しろよ。今、この島には、ひふみ。18人もいるんだぜ。妙なことをすればすぐにでも取り押さえられちまう。
For sure.
それに、台風のおかげで島から逃げ出すこともできない。
Yeah, but what if she has the Navy SEAL dive suit and swim to Nijima place?
つまり、とんでもない事件を起こそうにもどうにもならねえってことさ。
同感だね。退路の断たれた袋小路で、しかも十分怪しまれているような状況下で、そんな恐ろしい復讐劇なんかとてもできるとは思わないね。
For sure.
でしょうな。
でしょうね。
ならば姿など現さずに暗躍しての復讐の方が現実味があるというものです。堂々と姿を現して仇討ちなど時代劇の中でしか考えられませんな。
Well, maybe she wants you to. This is the last face you will ever see. Bam! Dead.
わからねえぜ。復讐ってのは感情でやるもんだ。理屈じゃねえぜ。そ
Right?
れこそ差し違えてでもなんて考えたら、別に警察も人数も退路がなくても何も怖くはないかもしれねえぜ。
Okay. Although this feels like saying you can't use chessboard or Hikrekaisu or the spin the chessboard, right? Makes sense.
大丈夫だよ、ジェシカちゃん。僕たちが想像するような物騒なことは何も起きないよ。
Yeah! Georgie is right. No way!
遺産をめぐっておじさんたちがバトルロイヤルってのが物騒なことじゃねえってんならな。
So this is Battler on autopilot. Right.
そうだよな。父さんもルドルフおじさんも体格いいし、エヴァおばさんなんか格闘技習ってんでしょ。
You should watch the first episode.
大丈夫だよね。
Jessica didn't say it, but she had vaguely noticed that her own father opposed all of the other siblings regarding the inheritance. They acted like everything was good in front of the children, but when that pretense was lifted away, like it had been at dinner, it would become a tumultuous uproar. It was only natural that Jessica, realizing that, would be frightened that her father and mother had gotten into some kind of trouble and were about to be sacrificed for something terrifying.
だよな。ジョージの兄貴の言う通りだぜ。何も起こらねえよ。魔
Yeah!
女様の名前を語ろうとも魔法も使えない人間の女が一人で何ができるってんだ。
I know, right? Not like she has a gun. For sure. My ass! Foreshadowing. Where's Losa when you need her? The sudden creepy laugh made us all jump. And when we realized that this strange laugh was coming from Maria. We were shocked again.
そうなんだ。それがバトラの認識なんだね。
何かだよ。気色悪い声で笑うんじゃねえぜ。
Yeah!
バトラはベアトリーチェの存在をとりあえずは認めてる。
Okay, let me adjust some audio a little quickly.
19人目の客人程度には認めてる。でも、そこまでだね。
That you, Beatrice? Are you controlling Maria? By proxy.
19人目のベアトリーチェが魔女であることは認めてないね。
突然何を言い出すかと思えば。そりゃそうだろ。魔女なんているわけがねえ。それを語る人間の女しかありえねえだろうが。
God, I hate this face so much. I wish I could slap her. In fictions.
あれおかしいよ、バトラ。それは悪魔の証明だよ。魔女なんているわけがねえ。でもそれはバトラが魔女に会ったことがないというだけで。
No, don't get it twisted. I mean, yes, there's no witch in this world, so we can assume that there are no witches. But then when we talk about mistresses and illegitimate child, there's such a thing like all over the world, all the time. Like, come on, Maria, you're not going to own us with this.
魔女の存在を否定することにはならないね。
Shut up, Maria.
そうだな。確かにそうだ。魔女が
No.
いねえを証明することはできない。
Yes.
しかし、証明はできなくても主張はできる。魔女はいねえという俺の主張だ。
どうして魔女はいないなんて証明できないくせに主張できるの？
そんなものはいねえからだよ。
Okay, that's a poor way to say that, but yeah. God, I hope Maria dies in the first twilight.
それで QED？
How do you know that word?
何の証拠も根拠もなく証明終了？無知が棚上げする時の典型例。暴力的思考停止だね。
Proof concluded without any evidence or basis. I don't know why, but I really want to fight with Maria like right now. Okay, so next you're going to claim that Unicorn and Pegasus
と
exist.
なりゃ答えは一つだぜ、マリア。
Tell him, I mean tell her
魔
English.
女側の反証しかねえってことだろう。
Yeah, Wingardium Leviosa.
これまた悪魔の証明だ。連れてくりゃ話は早い。この場合はベアトリーチェと名乗るご婦人がお星様がキラキラ飛び散るような華麗な魔法をステッキででも披露して人間には不可能なことをやってみせればいいってことだろ。
Yep, yep.
ほら、お二人とも落ち着いてくださいな。
No, fight. Kumasawa noticed that the atmosphere between them was getting worse and tried to calm them. It seemed as though Batola quickly realized that he was acting immaturely. No, fight! Don't give in to Maria. Hey, look at her face. But Maria's expression didn't loosen. She kept staring at Batola as she laughed creepily.
マリアももうよせよ。機嫌直そうぜ。な。
I really hope she goes away somehow.
それが望みならベアトリーチェはきっと見せてくれるよ。人間には不可能なこと。
Okay.
そしたらバトラも信じるんだよね。ベアトリーチェのこと。
おう、そいつを拝ましてくれたら信じてやろうじゃねえか。
魔女とバトラの議論のチェスだね。チェックメイトされたらバトラは魔女を信じる。
I feel like it's Beatrice in the Purgatorio laughing as Maria, like right now.
おお、洒落た例えだぜ。魔女が魔法を見せる。俺のキングにチェックをかける。俺は人間でも何らかの手段で再現可能だとイチャモンをつけてキングを逃がす。
Why doesn't she just get in here and cast some expectral patronum or something, and then we gasp in awe and the game ends.
それができなきゃチェックメイトってのは確かにいい例えだ。
バトラー、チェスというのは相手も自分も同じ動きの駒を持ってる。だから相手の手も読める。でもね、相手の駒がバトラの駒よりさらに不思議な動きができることをバトラは今想定していない。魔女のはずないからとベアトリーチェの動かす駒の動きを自分とどうせ同じだと決めつけている。
Okay.
でもね、悪いけどバトラのチェスの相手は人間じゃない。魔女なの。人間にはさせない駒の動きができる。バトラは今そこの認識を間違えているの。
I hate her so much.
バトラはキリエおばさんのチェス盤思考って好きでしょ。
She knows. Okay.
ああ、相手の立場に立っての思考術ってやつを。
だからダメなの。相手は魔女なのにバトラはそれを認めない。だから魔女のさせる手を理解できずチェス盤思考が通じない。
I guess so. But I think the problem is that we don't know their motives.
相手の認識を間違えている。
But I feel like Maria's yapping isn't really important, right? Because even if your opponent is really a witch, if you know their motive somehow, if you know that their motive is to play like a human, then it doesn't matter if you know or believe that they are a witch, right? So I feel like that doesn't really work. And I mean, let's say we believe Maria like 100%. Like, okay, fair enough, the opponent is a witch. Then what? It's not like you can really spin the chessboard and what would I do if I am a witch? How does that work?
チェス盤思考の一番最初の前提が崩れてる。
おお、そう来るかよ。
そなたは魔女とのチェスに勝てぬ。
Finally, we are away from Maria. Thank God.
その後のことはわかりません。
When did this happen?
私たち使用人は食堂に近づくなと言命されましたもので。
なるほどね。それでシャノンはそのベアトリーチェという人物に以前会ったことはある？
Not only I have met her, I am her. Wahahaha.
わかりません。
That was a slightly odd way to say it. I thought it didn't sound like she meant her memory was vague.
私たち使用人にとってベアトリーチェ様。
I have no idea. Why would you say this? You met her like three times? Or four times? What?
お屋敷のもう一人の主です。親方様に感化されてそうだと吹聴しているというふうにおっしゃる方もおられますが。
And this is why I really think that Shannon is in on it somehow. But she's straight up lying, right? I heard that all the previous scenes were lying.
私がここへ勤め始めた時からベアトリーチェ様の話はすでにささやかれておりました。
What about the... Yes, I met Beatrice. She gave me a brush. A magical brush. Oh, also, I drank tea with her and she can clean up the tea set with her magic. Also, I met her in the VIP room and she was very rude. Where did they go? Where did that go?
前に聞いたよ。敬わないと呪われたりして、実際に事故に遭った使用人もいるんでしょ？
ええ、ただ信じる信じないに個人差があったのは確かです。私はそういうものには敬いを忘れないのが信条ですので、黄金の魔女というその不確かな存在がきっといるとおぼろげに信じていました。
それで実際にその不確かな存在の魔女が姿を現して堂々と玄関からやってきたということなのかな？
わかりません。私には何も。
Of course. He's your imaginary friend, after all.
シャノンは夕食を運んだ時に何か話はした？
いいえ、何も。
There better be good reason for this.
そっか。しかしご飯を食べる魔女というんじゃなんだかリアリティがないね。やっぱりこの島の魔女伝説を知る何者かがベアトリーチェの名を語っているだけなんだろうね。シャノンちゃんはベアトリーチェを多分お屋敷の守り神みたいに思って敬ってきた気持ちがあると思うんだよ。だからそれを名乗る人物が現れたので少し動揺しちゃったんじゃないかな。
そうですね。きっとそうなんじゃないかと思います。
Georgie was slightly at a loss at what to do about Shannon's downcast appearance. Possibly, not just Genji, but also the young servants, including Shannon, had been strictly questioned about whether they had a clue as to who this person called Beatrice was. Thinking that he had tried to cheer her up somehow, like Maria and Jessica, Shannon too must be unable to completely hide her agitation over the sudden visit of a person calling herself the Golden Witch. He thought that must be the case, but Georgie had no way of knowing what was in Shannon's heart. Shannon was bitter and sad. The door to the Golden Land could be opened. The witch had definitely told her that meant the demise of everything. Even if she accepted the ring from Georgie, now they could never be married. Why not tell him about Beatrice then? Then this is completely like if I believe everything like 100%, right? Tell everyone that Beatrice is there and how she is, and then we can work out a way to defeat her. There we go. Suddenly change from mystery novel to action novel. No, in the first place, the furniture like her, sponsored by IKEA, okay, have the right to be married. There must always be a mention of furniture at least once per stream. Cool. Even if the witch hadn't come to tell of their demise, wasn't it fated to fail sometime or another? Hadn't she turned her gaze towards the fun days with Georgie and purposefully closed her eyes to the sad reality? Did she want this?
さっきから本当に元気がない。
ジョージさん、婚約って何でしょうか？
Why would you ask that now? Wait.
結婚の約束をする という意味だよ。でも僕はその意味において結婚と同じものだと考えてる。本当なら僕は今すぐにでも君をめとって家へ連れ帰りたい。でも僕は今修行中の身でまだまだ自らの城を築き上げる力量がない。だからこそ一人前になって初めて胸を張って君を連れ帰りたいんだ。それは遠い未来の話じゃない。ほんの3年ほどを待ってほしいというだけの話なんだ。
That's fast.
でも僕はだからといって3年間自分の気持ちを偽っていたくない。だから婚約指輪を贈ろうと決めたんだ。それは男として情けない理由かもしれない。妻と仕事を両立できないから待ってほしいなんて理由での婚約なんて情けないものかもしれない。でも僕は決して君を。
ありがとうございます。
Aw.
ジョージさんにとって婚約指輪が恋人に贈るプレゼントの一つではないということが。
当然だよ。婚約指輪はただのアクセサリーじゃない。尊い約束を指輪の形で残す恋人たちの宣誓なんだ。
だとするとすぐにも結婚するなら不要なものということになりますよね。
Yeah, let's get married right now.
その時は婚約指輪じゃない、結婚指輪として渡すよ。どちらにせよ君に指輪を贈ることに変わりはないのさ。
この女は俺のものだから誰も手を出すなよっていう売約札みたいなものですね。
Yeah. Wait, is it? I don't know. And I saw the not just like a accessory, right? And it brought me back to the first episode in the first Twilight. So this murderer killed 6 people, and they killed Shannon, and they didn't take the diamond ring, which really leads me to think that I think I'm very sure, like 90% sure that the murder wasn't for money, right? That's what I feel.
いやそんな意味じゃ。
Because at first I thought that the face smashing was because of hatred, but then after Nasuhi seemingly got shot, I feel like the face smashing was done to mask the cause of death. Well, essentially to hide the fact that the culprit or the murderer has a gun. I think that's what happened. Georgie knew about his shameful character. When he had fallen for Shannon and sworn to become an excellent man, he had sworn to part ways with the shameful part of himself. So he chose to answer a little roughly on purpose, believing that Shannon would find it reassuring. How nice. You're gonna die.
その通りかもしれない。さよ、君を僕の妻にする。他の誰にもやらない。僕だけのものにする。だから誰も手を出すな。そういう指輪だよ。間違いない。
ありがとうございます。ジョージさん、本当に嬉しいです。
Then Georgie-san, if it was decided by fate that his engagement ring, that his promise would not be fulfilled, would you still give it to me? Shannon was about to ask that, but she swallowed her words, because Georgie had already spoken the answer. Georgie has said it. He has said that to him, an engagement ring was infinitely similar to a wedding ring. Therefore, accepting Georgie's ring had a far more sacred significance than a promise to marry.
だから僕はあえてこれを婚約指輪と呼ぶのをやめにする。今からこれは婚約じゃない、結婚指輪だ。
Wow!
いいの でしょうか。神様の祝福もなく私たちが結ばれたことを勝手に宣言してもいいのでしょうか。
うん。神様も父さんも母さんもすべて事後報告で十分さ。
Just tell them later.
僕たちが二人は結ばれたと一方的に宣言する。それは誰にも覆せない。
ジョージさん。
僕は一時の感情で言ってるんじゃない。
If we tell them later, then no one can overturn it. That's smart.
今だけの君を見て言ってるんじゃない。明日の君も明後日の君も、それこそ未来の老後の君すらも見据えて言っている。
いつもジョージさんが話していることですよね。
Damn, that's romantic.
元気な子供や孫たちに囲まれてゆっくりとした老後を過ごしたいって。
How many children again?
うん。その時僕の隣には年老いた君がいる。それを僕は予言するよ。うん。必ずその日は訪れるから。
Yeah.
必ず訪れますか。
Really? No voice line for that.
その時それを僕も必ず
必ず訪れますか。
Cool.
必ず絶対。
Georgie, don't lie.
それを言葉でない形で証明するのがこの指輪なんだよ。
That was a lot of words.
見せてください。
えこれさ。
Georgie, thinking he was being told to show her the ring, hurriedly took out the ring box, even though he had practiced so much in a toilet, no less. With Rudolphus hearing that, he hadn't been able to look cool. But Shannon wasn't looking at that. With a straight and direct gaze, with faint tears and a smile, she was staring right at Georgie's eyes. No, it was something she could see beyond his
私
eyes.
にその未来を見せてください。
ああ、見せるよ。必ず約束する。老後までじゃない。死んだ後も僕らは魂になってもずっと一緒にいる。
Oh, good. We'll know this in 24 hours. Shannon wiped away her tears and took the ring box. Inside was a diamond ring, more than worthy of blessing the two of them. This scene, because it happened in the first episode, it makes me feel like I'm watching a what? the video on demands of the engagement again. Georgie said the line that he had practiced over and over again inside his head.
その指輪を好きな指にはめてそれを返事にしてほしいんだ。つまり明日の朝までに。
Oh, well, that was fast. Shannon's smile took the ring and with a completely natural movement put it on the ring finger of her left hand. It really had looked like a very natural movement, and for a while Georgie was stunned. Oh, me too. Oh, this is faster than
これ
the
が
first episode.
私のお返事です。
This episode is moving
ジョー
Oh,
fast.
ジさん、
シャノン、いや、さよ。
魂になってもずっと一緒です。
Yeah, we'll be like that in 24 hours.
ジョージさん、
There was no blessing from God, nor pastor to witness. Nothing but the two to be married had proclaimed it. Two souls were joined here today. Cool. Is it going to break again? Hello? Oh, okay. Phew. I thought the scene is going to like break or shatter.
姉さんはバカだ。
そうかな。
家具のくせに家具のくせに。
私家具じゃないよ。もう。
嘘だ。
What is a furniture? We will never know.
どうして自分を騙すんだよ。人間になんか絶対になれないって知ってるくせに。黄金鏡へ行かなきゃ人間になれないって知ってるくせに。なのにどうして黄金鏡へ行ける約束を自分で保護に。
そっか。指輪を受け取ったらベアトリーチェ様との約束がなかったことになっちゃうんだったね。ごめんね。
あとは僕も姉さんもジョージ様も親方様もみんな条件は同じだ。13人が生贄にされる。
You said that like you weren't the murderer.
5人しか黄金鏡に招かれない。その一石を自分で消えるなんて。
おかしいね。未練があるのはカノン君の方みたいだね。
未練があるのは姉さんの方じゃないか。婚約しちゃったんだろう。果たせない運命なのを知りながら。
ずっとずっと永遠に一緒だよって約束した。だからね、その瞬間に私たちの永遠は完成したの。たとえ私たちが生贄になってしまうとしても、もう完成してるの。だか
Good
ら
for you.
いいの。未練があるのはむしろカノン君の方。私たちは家具なんでしょ。私たちはどういう結果になろうとも解放される。なら黄金鏡に行けるか行けないかなんてどうでもいいことじゃない。なのにカノン君は黄金鏡へ行くことに固執してる。どうしても人間になりたいんでしょ。どうして？
Okay, so far, Canon and Maria want to go to this golden lawn. I thought it's a metaphor for heaven.
人間になりたいからだよ。家具はもう嫌だ。
どうして？
僕も恋がしたかったんだ。
You can do it right now. Tears spilled from both of Canon's eyes, and he
お
howled.
嬢様のことが好きだった。そしてあの日のお嬢様の姿を見てもっと好きになった。そしてお嬢様も僕のことが好きだと分かって。でも僕は家具でお嬢様の気持ちを受け止めることはできなくて。
それが勘違いだった。私たちは家具かもしれない。人間以下かもしれない。でも恋をする資格がないわけじゃなかった。
What are they on about?
添い遂げられぬ思いならない方がマシだって思った。いつか自分も消え去る日が来て、それがきっとお嬢様を傷つけるなんて勝手に決めつけて。違うんだ。僕が怯えていただけなんだ。僕は永遠になれない恋ならしない方がマシだって怯えてただけなんだ。
Okay, in this voice line, Canon really sound like a girl. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think it's woman say you, and it makes me think that maybe Canon could pull it off, masquerading as Beatrice. God, I hope not.
セミは生涯のうち数週間にも満たないわずかな期間で恋をして消えていく。数週間で終わる恋だからと恋をしないセミはいないんじゃないかな。
Yeah, but how long is their lives? Because you know, few weeks. If you are in love in a few weeks, but your lifespan is like a month, then yeah, this love is amazingly long. So that depends on the total lifespan as well. Oh. It seemed that Cannon was still speaking of his regrets, but by now it was all jumbled up in his crying
魔
voice.
女が憎い。僕にどうしてこんな気持ちを植え付けて、あいつさえ妙ないたずらをしなければ、僕はお嬢様のことなんか気になる。
ベアトリーチェ様はひどいね。カノン君にそうやって悔し泣きをさせるために運命をいたずらした。でも魔女の思惑は多分外れてる。
How could you tell?
だって
Because knowing love isn't a lingering attachment that ties you to life. It is the place we should reach on our journey through life. I don't understand the sentence at all.
というわけだカノン。
You talking in the middle of the rain?
せっかくの約束はこれで遂法だな。さてさて、これにてすべての駒の条件は同じよ。駒は18。13人が生贄に捧げられる。生き残る5人は誰か。それと
Who will the 5 survivors be? Place your bets right now.
誰かがこの儀式を打ち壊してみせるか。誰がどうやって
Oh, can you?
これはチェスプロブレムではない。
This is Othello, Lamau.
対等なゲームだ。
So chess is not equal?
わらわだけが一方的に詰めるわけではない。そなたはわらわの爪から懸命に逃れ続け、引き分け無効試合に持ち込むことができる。まあせいぜいそなたにできるのは、それを延々と繰り返すのが関の山よ。
No.
そしておそらくそれはそなたにとってそう難しいことではあるまい。
Who is she talking to?
しかしそなたは永遠に続く無効試合にやがて精神をすり減らし、やがては精神を殺す。その時にこそ敗北を受け入れ、わらわに屈服することになるであろう。対等なゲームといった理由、それはわらわにも敗北の条件を設けてあることだ。負けのないゲームほど退屈なものはないのでな。わらわを任す方法、それはわらわの肖像画に捧げられたあの碑文よ。
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
あれこそは黄金鏡の扉の開き方にして同時に儀式を打ち破る鍵でもある。
Wait, you don't solve the epitaph. 5 people go to Golden Land. You solve the epitaph. You can open the door to Golden Land. So no matter what, you can open the door to Golden Land. Which I thought it was the metaphor for heaven and dying. So you solve it, you die. Is that what happened?
わらわは碑文に従い儀式を完遂する。そなたは碑文の謎を解き、儀式を打ち破り、わらわを滅ぼす。碑文に隠された謎を解き、わらわが金蔵に値し莫大なる黄金のありかを暴いてみせよ。
Wait, why can't we just ask Kinso? Oh wait, Kinso. Okay, he's insane. I forgot.
こたびのゲームはどういう結末を見せるのやら検討を期待するぞ。わらわを楽しませてみせろよ。後ろ宮バトラー。
Yes! Is it happening? He say so. Where is this? We have a church.
異論はない。私と夏日は認める。
What? Who are you talking to?
信じられないし信じたくないけれどそれが現実なのね。
What happened? Show me more.
夏日、言葉を少し選びなさい。彼女は当家の最高の賓客なんだ。
Oh, so she showed them something. I don't know. Was it the gold? Part of the gold or the head ring?
わしらも認める。グーの根も出えへん。
へえ認めるわ。一遍の文句もない。まさか本当に素直にあなたに尊敬の念を覚えるわ。
What?
私もよ。すごいわ。純粋に尊敬する。だから認めざるを得ないわ。
俺も認めるぜ。未だに信じられね
What's going on?
え。だがどうしようね。
What is she showing you, my good man?
悪魔を証明しちまった。
What do you
あんたの
mean?
勝ちだ。
悪魔の証明はそなたが好む証明不能への便利な言い訳だったがあだになったようだな。
いじめるなよ魔女様。俺はもうあんたを認めてるぜ。
Oh, they think that she's a witch? Okay. Or maybe she showed the gold, but I feel like showing the gold doesn't mean that you're the witch, right? It just means that you are at least the illegitimate child,
降参だ。
Kinso's child. Kire, not you too. Tell her, I reject you. There are no witch.
キリエまだ異論があるか。
Be the battler of the group.
わらわは全員一致しか好まぬ。
Please
お前一人がわらわの存在を認めぬならば
do it. As the witch laughed boldly, the siblings started to panic. They were afraid of displeasing the witch. Kirie lightly closed her eyes and, after keeping silent for a while, opened her mouth.
ごめんなさい降参よ。
No! You too? Only Kirie had faced the witch with stern eyes until the end. However, she had only been able to resist acknowledging the truth for a short time. The reality, the being that was before her eyes couldn't be denied. What did she show you? Tell me! The views had already been proven.
私も認めるわ。あなたはベアトリーチェ、後ろ宮家の顧問錬金術師、そして偉大なる魔法の使い手。
Do you need to tag in the magic part?
魔女であることを認めざるを得ない。
Nice! I don't... What? What did she show them? Why can't she tell us what she's showing them? Okay. Is it... What time is it in game? Oh, it's midnight. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get some recap of where the people are. And it's Nanjo in the Shadow Realm. Okay, you guys are in some kind of church? We have a church? Where did that come from? canon is in mansion, Gora's in servant room somewhere. I don't know which one is the mansion servant room or guest house servant's room. Nanjo, where are you? You're in the room. Cool. Hey then! Hello! Are you doing well? Oh, battery is in her room. I see. Oh, where's Nanjo-sensei? I guess he's in the guest house. Where's Kumasawa? Why didn't they show some of them? Akibit. No, not like now. I'm a rabbit through and through. Okay, midnight to 6 a.m. again. I see. I hope the clocks are the same for every episode. October 5th, 1986, the second day. Here it comes. I look forward to it. Not the date, the mystery. For now, ooh, ominous. What was the sound that always filled the ears? The sound of the rain, the sound of a waterfall, or was it radio static? In that case, I want it to be the sound of blood flowing through the body. I want it to be the sound of the blood circulating throughout my body, telling me that I'm still alive. The cat ears. Him. The light entering through a crack in the curtain was faint, but it at least told him that dawn had broken. Kinso, still in the same pose he had when he awoke, still sitting in his chair and looking up at the ceiling, felt the blood slowly travel throughout his body. Judging by the clock, it was early morning, 6 on the dot. No matter how tired he was, no matter how deeply he slept, he woke up at exactly this time, as though he had measured it with an hourglass. He didn't think that something like this was worthy of boasting of, but he told himself that while he could still do something like this, he was still in robust health. AkibitShirousagira. Oh, the game about the cat? I haven't bought it, so I have to wait for the discount. If it's a game about rabbit, I might be more receptive in playing it. But for the cats, maybe later. You didn't die? Good jobs. You and your most secure room. Oh, you said the same thing in the last episode too. That would be called stray. That would be called prey. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too. What's with that gun? Kinso was very slightly driven by a temptation to look at the other side of the study door, because he thought that maybe he might find the traces of a wind struggle to break the door. Oh, not that prey. Really. Well, a rabbit can run fast, so you can't catch the rabbit. Also, there's already a game called Prey. That is a first-person horror or thriller game, I think. Made by something trying to select him as one of the first 6 sacrifices.
人間とは安っぽい生き物だな。人事を尽くして天命を待ちながら幸運を得られた時にはそれが単なる幸運ではなく己の技量によるものだったとうぬぼれたくもなる。
He's saying the same thing, huh? So he wanted to check whether there was a wretched mark on the door that is only human. Therefore, Kinzer did not check. He pressed the things that he wanted to do because he was human. By that, Kinzer could immerse himself in a feeling of sufficiency as though he had become a being that surpassed humans. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. He became aware of human desire and forbade it. Things that a human wanted to do, he resisted. This eccentric and rebellious sense had surely given him a large genius, which must have allowed him to succeed in his exploits as he revived the Ushinomiya family in one generation.
お前が取った6つの駒は何なのか。そして次なる手はどう来るのか。
Last time was 6 people in the mansion, but well, I mean the cathedral. But why did I say cathedral? Really? I don't think they have cathedral in this island. The church. But aren't there like 6 people in the church? Wrong button. Oh, wait, there's 7 people. How would that work?
楽しませてもらうぞ。
Cat, yes. No.
私の守りは完璧だ。前回のような無様はさらさぬぞ。
For sure. So white. The servants woke early. They had to open the curtains, prepare breakfast, and complete various other tasks to welcome the guests to a new day. Goda was the most enthusiastic. Oh, you survived! Cool. He had been told to concentrate his efforts in particular on his work as a chef for the duration of the family conference. I'm so glad you're still alive. Now you can make food for the survivors, and he had been specially exempted from several tasks the servants normally must do. It seemed that Goda, who was a show-off, had a particular feeling of supremacy about that. The preparations of the inside of the mansion to Genki and the rest, and worked on preparing breakfast in the kitchen. Genki split the work with Shannon and Kanon, and they carried out various tasks. Shannon headed to the dining hall and knocked. Oh, you survived! Last year, the family conference had continued into the small hours of the night. It wouldn't have been odd for this year's conference to continue all the way into the next morning. Of course, Hayden, you're not on YouTube and Twitch. So she had knocked out of consideration for the possibility that they were still having a discussion inside, but there was no response. So she opened the door and said, "Good morning."
おはようございます。いらっしゃいませんか?
The room was cold. It seemed that the conference had ended a long time before. I thought that they were in the church. You see me in every reality. You see all. You know everything. On top of the table, there was a tea set from which they had probably been drinking, arranged in a way that would make it easy to clean them up. So, drugs? Cleaning away the tea was a servant's job. So if the family was too caring and clean it up themselves, the servants would lose face. Therefore, just doing this much for the servants truly was a pleasing act of kindness. As she approached the table to clean it away, she noticed that something like a memo had been left along with the cups. It had been placed together with the tea set, so naturally thinking it was a memo for the servant cleaning up, Shannon took it. Written on it was not a request, nor thanks for preparing the tea, but just a single word. Shannon looked at it blankly and read it out loud. Oh, chapel. Okay. Hear me? small sound kept repeating over and over. It was a sound that would ordinarily have been trivial and insignificant. I hope I stop hearing it soon. Then I could return to my doors. Someone thought vaguely. Someone? But no matter how much time passed, the sound did not end. It repeated over and over. Ah, shut up! Who is that? Banging on the door constantly. As soon as she realized this, she woke up. Someone was knocking. Then she noticed that there wasn't just a knock, but a voice too.
Rosa-sama. Rosa-sama.
Also, this is her room.
おはようございます。
待って。
Who are those? Who are those?
今行きます。
It had been Genji's voice. Looking at the clock, it was still before 7. It was clearly too early to wake the guests. Did something happen that was bad enough to cause this? She felt her sleepiness increasingly fade thanks to this ominous premonition. Because Genji had been a familiar servant to Rosa since her childhood days, she opened the door a crack and answered, even though she was slightly defenseless in her pajamas. There's a lot of door animation in this episode, huh? What happened?
何かあったの？
I asked first.
はい。実は礼拝堂に。
Uh-oh. Genji spoke into Rosa's ear and told her something in a small voice. It seemed that Rosa couldn't understand what she was being told after only hearing it once, and after repeating the words back to him several times, she finally realized that apparently something strange in the neighborhood had happened. Rosa closed her door for a second, and after changing her clothes, he immediately accompanied Genji, and they headed to the mansion. And then he kills. Wait, what? Nopo, I wanna see the... I mean, what? Nopo, I wanna see... what anime was that? Oh, no, I wanna see the... Wait, what? Is that from anime? She ran fast. My eyes! The chapel requires some explanation. It wasn't in the mansion, but in a grove behind the mansion, which could be reached after a short walk. It had been built at the same time that the mansion had been constructed on Lake Kenjima. I wanna see death. Yeah, me too. For the mystery part. So while its outside walls had been repaired many times, making it look new from the outside, it was a very old building. Rosa and Genji dashed through the lane together romantically. Just like the previous night, the rain was falling in earnest. Oh, how far is this from the mansion? Oh, so this is what it looks like. Eventually, they began to see the chapel beyond a sparse grove. If all she knew of it was its appearance from the outside, it might have felt like a place of dazzling beauty, where a pair of young lovers might want to hold a ceremony. However, it seemed that in Kinso's eyes, this was a very sacred place, and Rosa and her sibling had been harshly told not to approach it unnecessarily. So even at this age, and no matter what the reason for it, she felt some guilt in approaching the chapel, and was gripped by the fear that this would surely make her father so angry. He would slap her across the face. Ooh, the servant Sirius could be seen in front of the entrance to the chapel. Oh, you're all here. That's convenient. Goda, Shannon, and Canon, which meant that all of the servants on the morning shift had gathered. A short while ago, Rosa had been told the nature of the situation verbally by Genji. However, without laying eyes on it directly, she really had to be able to understand. Probably all of the servants gathered there were the same. Without seeing it with their own eyes, they couldn't understand what was going on. Why do we need this many servants? Right here, right now? Game is called Umineko, but I don't see any Nekos. Where are they? I know, right? Where are the Nekos? But where are the cats? Not again! Because on the door there was the entrance to the chapel, drawn very large, with a creepy, sticky, pale-like substance that made one think of blood. It was something like a creepy magic circle.
何よこれいつ書かれたの
You tell me. The servants looked at each other. Koda was the first to open his mouth.
申し訳ございません。普段はここへは立ち入りませんもので、いつ書かれたのかはわかりません。
じゃあ最初に見つけたのは誰
Why do we need this many servants? Just to take a look at the magic circle? Why?
食堂へお茶の道具の片付けに行きましたら礼拝堂と書かれたメモがあったもので
Yeah, for sure. Shannon held out them. Oh, you have one. Wonder whose handwriting was that? Held out the memo with a shaking
誰の
hand.
字兄さんや姉さんの字ではないわね
How do you know? Do you read their handwritings all the time? Also, where are they? Like Klaus, Nasahi, and the others.
あなたはここへ来てこれを見つけたのねはい
ローザ様これを
What happened?
何ハッピーハロウィン
Oh? What? Kana was pointing at a single line of English written below the Kalibi magic circle. Until it had been pointed out to her, she had thought it was just another part of the magic circle and hadn't noticed it. Written there in English were the words Happy Halloween for Maria. Why is it capitalized? Happy Halloween for Maria, a wish for an enjoyable Halloween for Maria, a creepy magic circle for Maria. It is. Happy Halloween for Maria. Oh. The only person who said the words Happy Halloween to Maria yesterday, the symbols matched. The Golden Beach, the Atoligi. My eyes!
マリアはあの子いとこたちと一緒に寝てるはずよね確認した
申し訳ございません。マリア様のお名前が書かれていたことには今気づきましたもの。
Oh, is she going to die?
まだ確認しておりません。
I mean, oh no, that's sad. Oh no. That'd be horrible. Oh no.
至急。
何やってんのよ私はマリアの様子を見てきますそれからクラウス兄さんたちにも知らせて以後の対応の指示を受けて
After saying that much, Rosa finally noticed that something was out of place. Her own rank in this family conference was the lowest of the four siblings. In an abnormal situation like this, why has she been the only one called where the other siblings hadn't? Even if Maria's name had popped up.
はい、旦那様にご連絡申し上げようとしたのですが、お姿が見当たらず。
Ha, customer! What a funny guy. Always playing hide and seek.
奥様もお部屋におられません
Ah, Nasahi too. She also likes playing hide and seek.
シーツの様子からすると昨べはベッドに戻られていないのかもしれません
Oh no. Rosa felt something creepy crawling slowly up her back.
礼拝堂の中確認した
いえまだです確認しようとはしたのですが
Let me guess. The door is locked.
実は礼拝堂の鍵は特別でマスターキーに対応しておりません。一本だけある鍵でしか開けられないのですが、その鍵がキーボックスから紛失しているのです。
Oh, interesting. She didn't want to get any closer to the door with the Kalibi magic circle if she could help it. Rosa laid it herself and approached and tried pushing and pulling the knob. All she felt was the resistance of the steady lock.
入れる窓などがないか探してはみたのですが、もし中を確認するのでしたら 窓を破らなければならないかと思います。
Do it.
いかがいたしましょう。
そんな許可私に出せるわけがないわ。お父様の大切な礼拝堂なのよ。そんなことできないわよ。
No, we can fix the window later. Then the events of the previous day swirled around in the back of Rosa's mind. That's right. When I met the witch in the Lost Garden, didn't she hand Maria an envelope? Yes, I'm positive she did. When Maria had tried to open it, the witch had told her not to do that yet, and she had definitely said, "The time will come soon to open it. Thus I become convinced. There could be no doubt. The letter which had been handed to Maria. What about the letter that was handed to Rosa herself? What happened? Oh, new background. After dashing back to the guest house, Rosa approached the cousin's room while hiding her footsteps, softly opened the door and peered inside. From the inside, she could hear the healthy snores of young people. The four children were all there. Maria was there, sleeping soundly. After heaving a sigh of relief, she entered the room with quiet footsteps. She was after Maria's handbag, which was resting on the sofa. Maria always liked walking around with her treasures. She was probably imitating how her mother always carried her makeup with her. Of course, he was just copying her, so on the inside, it was full of junk. In Maria's case, it was full of small, creepy, occult-like items, and a notebook with things like that written in it. Rosa hadn't once been happy to see her daughter walking around with those kinds of ungirlish things. Well, that's sexist. However, after she had tried to force Maria to stop, they had gotten into a big fight, and she had decided to let it be. A Western envelope with the crest of the gold eagle. When she took it out, she could tell that there was a heavy cylindrical object inside. So it's a key? She could tell by its feels and its weight. There was no doubt. This was a key! Yay! After turning around and checking that Maria was still sound asleep, Rosa tore open the envelope and tipped out the contents into her palm. Oh, it was a key with an old and intricate design. Rosa grasped the key and dashed out. It seemed that Butler noticed the sounds, but after grumbling and turning over in his sleep, he started snoring again. Let me guess.
Genji-san.
Let me guess. Beatrice is going to say it's a closed room mystery, and the lock was in Maria's all along. So that's why I use magic to go inside and get out, which ignores the fact that Rosa just then managed to sneak in and grab the envelope with the key. So that means someone between midnight to 6 a.m. could be doing the same thing as Rosa, right? By sneaking in and grab the key, then sneak the key back. There we go, mystery solved before it even begins. Cool.
この鍵、ひょっとして礼拝堂の鍵ということは。
これをどこで？はい。これが礼拝堂の鍵です。
Rosa approached the creepy magic circle once again and put the key in the keyhole. There was a strong resistance. After it resisted for a short while, it stopped that resistance with a clank. Then squeaking with a noise that hurt one's ears, it slowly began to open.
誰かいるの？
Her voice reverberated throughout the massive room. Of course, there was no answer. Okay. Why is my heart rate so high? The chapel had a high ceiling, and the air was cold. And even on this rainy, unsettling day, for some reason, it felt sacred. The servants timidly followed after Losa.
ローザ様、あれを。
Look at what? Canon noticed it immediately and pointed. Over there was the altar, in the place where normally a pastor would preach of God's love. There was a table that shouldn't have been there. Ooh, chocolates. At first, it looked like a dining table, and there actually were gorgeous plates and utensils set on the table, enough to make you think it was a child's birthday party or something. Ooh. Upon closer inspection, the surrounding area had been decorated with pumpkins and black and orange ribbons. They were probably Halloween decorations. That's a lot of pumpkins. And there were people seated at the table, 3 people on each side facing each other seated in chairs. Okay, 6 people, I guess. They could be recognized at a glance. Klaus and his wife, Eva and her husband, and Rudolph and his wife, all 7. But if you were asked if these were definitely them, you still have to go even closer to check. Because they seem almost like those. Maybe they were sleeping. Happens all the time. After eating some nice candies. Lotta and the rest had opened the door. Entered all at once with the sound of many footsteps and called out, asking if anyone was there. And yet, there had been no reaction, even assuming they had chosen to ignore them. Normally, you would expect there to be some kind of reaction, and there hadn't been even that. There hadn't even been that. English. So at first, it felt like someone had sat down some doors that looked a lot like them. By now, it wasn't just Losa, Shannon, and Canon, and even Goda. They were all fighting frantically against the rising Khalib emotion tightly grasping their hearts. Oh, here it comes. As she climbed up to the altar, she called out again, but still the others gave no reaction. Why don't you just turn on the light? Yes, by now, Losa had accepted it. There were not those. She had accepted that there were those weary people. これは何ですか? They approached close enough to be able to see clearly what was on the table. Just like their first impression, it looked like a lovely banquet, reminiscent of a child's birthday party. Plates piled up with sweets, glasses with lovely drinks. Okay, that's good. Several ornaments in the shape of pumpkins. They were all decorated in a Halloween style, and while it might have been an irrelevant thought at a time like this, she thought that it would surely make Maria happy if she could see it. Okay. They were seated in front of the table, and it looked like they were sleeping. It was an eerie scene, as though a small, fun-looking Halloween party had been stopped in time.
兄さんたち寝てるの?
Yeah, I guess so. When she approached even closer to them, she realized that candies were scattered all over the floor. There were candies in very fancy wrapping, cookies, fizzy lemon sweets, chocolates. And they were all distributed across the carpet, which was covered with blackberry and cranberry jam. Why would jams be all over the place? scare. Losa and the rest finally realized what the situation was. It was a Halloween party. A banquet for those not of this world. Klaus, Nasuhi, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kilia, 6 people in all, were seated in the chairs, dead as though they were sleeping. How could you tell that they were dead and not simply sleeping? That was because they were from the chest to their stomachs. What? Vertically? Slice? Open? Okay, they did the grotesque corpse mutilation like the first episode, huh? No. The 6 of them were seated at a Halloween party, all of them killed with their stomachs sliced open. Was the jam that covered the floor something that they couldn't finish eating, which had overflowed out of their stomachs? No, the contents of their stomachs had been splattered all across the floor. And that wasn't all from their stomachs, almost as though they had spilled out. Sweets? Oh my god! What in the tarnation? Candies and cookies, fizzy lemon sweets and chocolates had spilled out stained with blood and had scattered across the floor. What could have happened to cause this? You tell me. It was almost as though the insides of their stomachs had been stuffed full with sweets, and when their stomachs had been cut, it had all flowed out. Why would you do that? Losa remembered a gross-out meal, a turkey that had been served at her own birthday when she was a young girl, when she had put the knife in from the inside, her very favorite, but because no one had told her about it at all. Bright red ketchup, omelette rice had poured out like blood-stained maggots. Maggot. Why? Dripping, slimy, pulpy, sticky. Thanks, Losa. Me too. The trauma of her youth was revived. Losa felt a monster raging inside her stomach as the acid started to rise up. Unable to hold back, she threw up on the floor. Her empty stomach couldn't throw up anything but stomach acid. The scene in front of her was no longer a fun Halloween party by any means. The 3 couples had been placed there with their stomachs vertically wrenched open with a kiwi kupa? I don't know what that means. Lots and lots of sweets had been stuffed in there. Pulpy, what is this? Blood and gas and sweets were overflowing onto the floor. Blood-stained, sticky, sloppy, pulpy sweet candy stuck into each finger. Gummy. What is stained with their entrails? Sloppy, pulpy. What was that I stepped on just now? That didn't feel like a candy or a cookie or fizzy lemon sweet or chocolate. I'm so scared I can't even look at the bottom of my foot to see what I stepped on. Whack! Yeah! What is this? What a gruesome Halloween party. Yeah, Maria would love this, for sure. From far away, it looked really beautiful, fantastical, and fun. And when you see it up close, it is really terrible, disgusting, and yet still somehow beautiful. Me too. Losa's wild thoughts tried as best they could to escape her throat with a loud voice that was neither a scream nor a roar. Yeah, God, you're very smart. Hey, Sassy! Sanitator! If a word tied to reality like police hadn't come out of Goda's mouth, Rosa and the rest would probably still have been unable to escape this nightmarish pattern. But that wasn't because they thought that the police might be able to do something. If they didn't say police out loud, it felt like another seat would be set up at the demon's party and given to them. It felt like their own stomachs were getting uncomfortably filled from the inside, rumbling, churning. It was surely because candy was starting to overflow from their stomachs. Rosa was again tortured by a desire to vomit and threw up her stomach acid on the floor, and then she searched to see whether there was any candy mixed in. Ew. Disgusting. Rosa coughed violently again and violently spat up the stomach acid that burned her throat onto the floor. She realized that by now her whole body had become covered in filthy sweat.
源氏さんとシャナンちゃん、お父様に連絡して指示を仰いでちょうだい。郷田さんはカノン君と一緒に行って警察に電話を。あと、南條先生に来てもらう。
Have Nanjo come here and what? It's way too late for medical care. You don't know that. Are you a doctor? I think so. The servants accepted their orders and dashed outside. After watching them leave, Rosa once again fixedly cast her eyes upon her siblings, who had been through life's joys and sorrows with her and their partners. Okay, let's take a 3 minutes break and we shall be right back. I need to refill my water. Back. Let's continue. Even though there could be nothing more tragic, for some reason their fantastical deaths tempted her to describe them as beautiful. Rosa. Why does she have to deal with this? Well, at least she's alive. And that's...
いねえな。
Oh.
どこに行っちまったんだろうな。
使用人室も厨房も空っぽだぜ。一体どうしちまったってんだ。
God, Rosa, come back quickly. Mama! I killed a man! Put a gun to his head or something. I don't remember the music. It's fine. Good God!
弱ったね。バトラ君、本当にローザおばさんだったのかい？
まあ、俺も寝ぼけてたから自信はねえんだが、明け方にローザおばさんが入ってきて、マリアの手提げカバンを漁ってるような気がしたんだよ。
Feeling? Come on, Batola, you're better than this. You slept in the afternoon, did you not?
俺はてっきりマリアの手提げに歯磨きのチューブでも入ってるんじゃないかなんて思って寝ぼけてて。
Why would she put her toothpaste in Maria's bag, Batola?
なんで歯磨きのチューブがマリアの手提げに入ってるんだよ。
True.
寝ぼけて夢でも見たに決まってんぜ。
Yeah. Batola vaguely remembered Rosa entering the cousin's room, and Maria, who had woken up first, had started rampaging around, saying that someone had opened the envelope that she had been keeping safe. How would you know that it had been opened? They might took the envelope but haven't opened it yet. Don't be so hasty. And so, they had started wondering whether Rosa might have come and opened it.
黄金の魔女様の封筒、中に何が入ってたんだろう。
わからないね。でも、あの封筒はおじい様が新書に使う後ろ宮家の家紋の入ったものだった。親族会議と無関係なものが入っていたとは考えがたいね。
She hadn't let anyone touch it, but yesterday Maria had bragged a lot about the envelope to Butler and the rest, so they remembered it well. So that means everyone knew about it and could take it as well. Yeah.
ジョージの兄貴の言う通りなら相当重要なものらしいが、しかしそんな大事なものをどうして魔女様はマリアに渡したんだろうな。
He doesn't know.
さっぱりだぜ。
The refreshing morning atmosphere had been completely wiped out by the occasional sounds of thunder. It was only natural. Since the time they had woken up, they hadn't met anyone other than themselves. It felt like the mansion had become an empty husk, leaving only them behind. Oi!
誰かいないか？返事してくれよ。
After Jessica called out into the hallway, an answer finally came back. It was from the entrance hall.
聞こえますとも。
Oh, you're here. Cool.
何かありましたか？
You tell me.
南條先生だ。よかった。この島から僕たち以外が消えてしまったわけではないようだよ。
Yeah, imagine.
南條先生、おはようございます。すみませんが、うちの親たちとかどこに行ったか知りませんか？
They went to Golden Land.
はて、私も今起きてこちらに来たばかりですからな。わかりかねますが、さて。
It was only Nanjo. Nanjo was a guest like the rest of them. He had just now come to pass the time in the parlor until breakfast. Well, tough luck, woman. Maria buried her face in Nanjo's well-built stomach, sobbing and crying. Cool. Nanjo could not think but be bewildered at what was going on so early in the morning. Hear me?
誰かかけてくるぜ。
Who?
ジェシカ、誰か来るぞ。
Uh-oh. From down the hall, they could sense people running hurriedly. When they looked, they saw that it was Goda and Canon. Running inside the mansion should have been immodest for a servant, and yet Butler and the rest didn't even think to question that now. Maria's sobbing had become so unmanageable, they wanted to ask someone, anyone, where Losa was. Me too. But the two servants ignored Jessica as she waved her hand. Goda flew into the servant room, and Canon, noticing that Nanjo was here, bowed and approached him in a quick pace and whispered something in his ear.
何ですって。
何ですって？
ローザさんが。
はい、ご案内いたしますので、どうかご同行お願いいたします。
わかりました。
こちらへ。
Without saying anything more than that, Canon finally noticed Jessica and bowed to her, but he wasn't calm. He dashed back down the corridor by which he had come, followed by Nanjo, who dashed behind him. What? By looking at how hurried they were, Batola and the rest realized that something bad really had happened. They saw Goda through the door to the servant room, which had been flung open. He had the telephone receiver in hand and was violently pressing the hook. From that, they realized that he was trying to call a hospital or the police, or in any event, he was trying to call someone because a serious emergency had occurred. You stay here. But the invitation to the Golden Land is a key to the chapel, so I guess you're half right. They didn't know that, but something was happening. Butler and the rest chased after Canon and Nanjo. And then we realized Canon-kun had called Dr. Nanjo, but he hadn't called us, so we should never have followed. I wonder if Alice regretted her excess curiosity when she chased after the rabbit, holding a watch. Hmm.
ダメよ、入っちゃダメ。
But what if I do?
見ちゃダメ。ジェシカちゃん、ダメ。
Not again. My eyes. Not again. Also, ooh, new. Is it new CG of the blood?
母さん、父さん。
Well, this time every parent died. But again, Batala lose his parent right from the get-go again. Come on. Ushinomiya Klaus' corpse found inside the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems his stomach was cut open and his intestines were pulled out after his death. Additionally, sweets and candies were packed into his stomach. I wonder if this was done to mask the cause of death by gunshot again. Welcome, Maria. Happy Halloween. Okay, wait, what? Her intestine also were pulled out. See, didn't I tell you? Berries are full of candy. You didn't tell me. Okay, so they have the same text other than the last two lines, so I'll just read the last two. Everyone has a belly that's filled with sweet dreams. A belly could never be full of disgusting things. That's why we want to be simple and sweet like candy. So this dreamland is for you. Happy Halloween. Wait, is it like a... I feel like the message, the last two line could be attached together end to end. Maybe.
何があったの？
Well, Shannon's still alive, so nothing of value was lost.
なんだよこりゃ。趣味が悪いにも程があるじゃねえかよ。命を奪うならそれで十分事足りただろうがよ。なんだよこりゃ。
なんだよこんに。
わざわざ殺した後に椅子に座らせて腹裂いて菓子をわざわざ中に詰め込んだってのかよ。
There was tea. I don't remember if the last episode was there tea as well in the dining room. Maybe it is poison again, right?
なんだってなんだってそんな悪趣味なことをしやがるんだよ。ちくしょうちくしょう。
Maybe they were dropped in the dining room, then transported to the chapel. I guess.
やってくれやがるぜ。最高だよ最高だよ。
最高だよ。おい、スーパーサイヤン。
皆さんは外へ出られた方がいい。こんな姿を皆さんに見せたいなどと彼らが思うわけがありません。
Nice, fine. Their face are intact. Nanjo told the children to go outside, but no one lent him an ear. Okay, also let me adjust some audio.
ローザさん、皆さんに言ってください。こんなもの見続けてはどこになる。
Rosa regretted her own carelessness. She should have been able to anticipate that the children would eventually come here. She should have quickly locked it instead of standing around. So now the children had come. They had seen it. Surely in this very moment they were having a sight burn into their eyes, which was far more grotesque than the gross of food Rosa had seen in her youth. While she hugged Maria, who seemed to have forgotten her emotions as she stared dumbfounded at the horrible scene. She doesn't care. Rosa shed copious tears for them and their parents. The four groaning and crying voices, their sadness, continued to echo in a place which should have known God's love.
クソ野郎が。
Oh, you can talk to her right now? Cool.
またかよ。またこんな殺人を。
That's cool.
しかも今度もやたらと凝った最高にふざけた殺し方をしやがって。
わらわはそんな嘆きより感謝の言葉が聞きたかったぞ。
What do you mean?
感謝感謝と言ったかこのクソババ
ア。クソババア。
てめえ耳がいかれてやがるってんなら俺が両の耳を引き裂いてよーく聞こえるようにしてやるぜ。
Not how that works, but sure.
なんて俺がこの最高にいかれた殺し方にありがとうございますベアトリーチェ様なんて言わなければならねえんだ。ぶっ殺してやる。
Oh my god, he's mad.
前回のゲームで
And you're insane.
お前は自分の親の死に顔が見られないと嘆いたな。だから残したぞ。
Of course.
しっかり残した。
You touched their stomachs.
よく拝んでおけ。間違いなく父親たちが殺されたことを。
Oh, okay. Although I did reason that there was no fake death other than canon.
そうかよ。そいつはサービス満点だぜ。気に入った。俺はてめえの息の根を止めたら顔面耕してやろうと誓ってたが、そいつは取り消してやるぜ。てめえの腹渡を引きずり出してやる。
感情に任せて思考を止めるな。
Oh.
すでにわらわのゲームは始まっておるのだぞ。わらわは今回は綺麗に死体を残すことに決めた。
Relatively clean would be more appropriate, but sure.
なぜだかわかるか。前回のゲームで そなたがわらわの存在を否定するとき、こう考えて否定したであろう。それは顔面が潰され、遺体の身元が確認できない。だから身代わりの死体を用意してアリバイを作った可能性が否定できない。その可能性が排除できない限り、人間犯人説は維持できる。
Sure.
なんだと
Oh my.
さあバトラー、南條に検視を任せてよいのか。
He's getting better and better.
ミステリーの古典では検視の医者がグルというのが伝統なのだろう。
Oh, I did say that.
なら南條に検視を任せるなら、そなたが自らするがよい。
Yeah, do it.
間違いなく6人の死体が当人で、死んだふりなどでなく本当に死んでいることを十分に確認するがいい。
You are insane. What is the matter with
お
you?
前の父親が母親が腹を裂かれて臓物を引きずり出されて殺されていることを、
Yeah, doubt that. For sure.
腹に手を入れてその手触りで確認するがいい。
No, it's okay. This is not surgeon simulator. Thank you.
泣かね
He says.
え。ちくしょう、ちくしょう。泣かねえぞ俺は。
Batola suddenly yelled. His tears were still dripping down, but as though scolding himself for being emotional, he slapped his face hard several times with both hands. Even so, the tears still wouldn't stop. However, he felt a hot breeze ignite in both his eyes.
これだけの上等を決めやがった野郎に借りはがっちり返させていただくぜ。なら泣く時じゃねえ。自分のすべきことを考えろ。ああ、ダメだぜ、全然ダメだ。
全然ダメだ。
涙を流す暇があったら考えろ。涙腺なんかひるませる時じゃねえ。
Rather than pure hatred, maybe it was more of an evasive hatred to blot out his sadness. However, it gave a little courage to Georgie and Jessica, who were being crushed by sadness.
そうだね、僕たちが泣いても起こってしまった現実は変わらない。
じゃあどうすりゃいいんだ。私は父さんと母さんのために何をすればいいんだよ。
ローザ様、戻りました。
郷田さん、警察はどうでしたか。対応の指示はいつ頃来られそうだと言っていましたか。
それが電話が故障のようでして。
Oh, now it's Goda who... Oh, interesting. I wonder if this is intentional. In the last episode, not only the telephone, but the Eva and Hideyoshi incident led me to believe that Genji was the accomplice. Would Goda be an accomplice as well? Oh, wait. The external line, I think, was actually cut, but the internal lines might be okay. Goda didn't try the internal line yet, so we don't know that
非
yet.
常用の無線機も試してはみたのですが、その天候のせいでしょうか、こちらも通じず。
なんですって。じゃあ警察に連絡がつかないということなの。
Even the radio, I thought that Genji was just lying, but maybe they did find some way to disable the radio as well. Okay.
あいつだ。あいつが電話線とかに細工して警察に電話ができないようにしたんだ。
And that's a fair assessment. When she heard that the telephones were out of order, Jessica immediately decided that it was the work of that mysterious guest. Her eyes were bright red after so much crying, and they began to grow even more red with rage.
もう議論の余地なんかねえぜ。全てが分かってる。そうだと分かる。父さんと母さんを殺したのは誰だ。
My eyes!
決まってるぜ。あいつだ。
昨日来たとかいう魔女様に決まってる。
Sure.
手首ひねり上げてやるぜ。チクショーチクショーチクショー。ジェシカちゃんお待ちなさい。ゴーダさんカノ君行って。
Yeah, Koda Canon, I choose you.
はい。お嬢様お待ちを。
Covering her unfocused sadness with anger, yeah, Jessica ran outside, torn apart by their emotion, thinking about it hastily. Maybe the mystery guest, Beatrice, who had arrived yesterday, was suspicious. However, at the current time, there was absolutely no proof that she was the culprit. At this moment, she was nothing more than a simple guest, and only one of many. So Rosa had to make an adult decision and stop Jessica in her hasty rampage. Koda and Kano realized that immediately and chased after her.
誰にも招かれなかった客人ベアトリーチェが犯人なんだろうか。
ジェシカの気持ちもわかる。そう思い込みたい気持ちは俺にもある。誰でもいいから犯人ってことにして横っ面をぶっ飛ばしてやりたい気持ちがある。だがその前にはっきりと理解する必要がある。
But where's Shannon? Where did Shannon go? Who did? Where did Genji send Shannon to? What happened? I thought. Wait, Genji went with Shannon to... Wait, to do what? I don't remember. Okay, Genji... Where's that? Genji Shannon asked father. Oh, okay, so that's where they were.
ベアトリーチェって何者なんだ。俺は顔すら見てねえぜ。
顔ならお屋敷に大きな肖像画で飾られてたよ。あれだけ見てまだ覚えられないのかな。なんだよマリア、こんな状況で何がおかしいよ。
Yeah, set up her.
ベアトリーチェは魔女なんだよ。そして黄金鏡の扉を開くための儀式がいよいよ始まったの。
Rosa, do something. Rosa, curb your Maria.
この6人はその生贄なんだよ。さあさあ始まるよ、魔女の宴が。今宵はハロウィン。魔女たちが今こそ祝い集
う。マリア、その気持ち悪い声で笑うのをやめなさいっていつも言ってるでしょ。
Yeah, set up her. Do it now. The crisp sound of Rosa slapping Maria's cheek, yeah, echoed through the high-ceiling chapel. It kind of feels like ever since the rain started yesterday. No, ever since the island had become wrapped up in the typhoon, something has gone crazy. I had arrived in Lokenjima while it was clear and taken a nap because I had gotten up early. When I woke up, it had already started raining, and after I got up, that's when it all started. Suddenly, a mysterious visitor had arrived, calling herself the Golden Witch. Beatrice, and it feels like the world has started skewing bit by bit into something insane. What happened while I was taking that nap? That time, had this island been cut off, trapped in a different world where common sense doesn't apply? Who is this person called Beatrice? Is she some unknown person trying to involve themselves with the inheritance problem, like our parents was freaking out about at dinner last night? Or is the culprit the witch from the Legend of the Gold, like Maria says? Even if Jessica hadn't let her short temper get the better of her, in this situation, the visitor was probably the most suspicious, if they exist. But we mustn't jump to conclusions just like that. Yeah, that's no good, no goddamn good at all. Sen damn it, I say. I smacked my face with both hands again, cooling off my brain before it overheated, even though it might have been a waste of effort.
これはおじい様の封筒。
The murder isn't complete without the envelopes or the tray piled with sweets that decorated the table. Georgie Aniki found a western envelope which had the Ushinomiya family crest done on it in gold leaf, and it was unopened.
それは俺たち宛てってことじゃねえのか。親父たちが読んだものだったなら開封されてるはずだぜ。
その推理は正解のようだよ。書いてある。残されし者たちへって。
Oh.
それは犯人が残した手紙なの。
Who knows?
中身。
兄貴、開けようぜ。
After nodding silently, Georgie Aniki opened it. A folded letter came out.
読むよ。六軒島へようこそ。後ろ宮家の皆様方、私は金蔵様にお仕えしております当家顧問錬金術師のベアトリーチェと申します。
Oh, the letter really was a joke. This Beatrice, who called herself the family alchemist, had announced that she was collecting the gold she had lent grandfather along with the interest, and that interest was everything that grandfather had created. Since this tragedy was right before our eyes as this paragraph was read aloud, it clearly was referring just to the wealth that grandfather had built up. It was literal, everything that grandfather had given birth to. In other words, all of grandfather's descendants were included in the interest.
ふざけやがって。
ふざけやがって。
なんてめちゃくちゃな契約だ。黄金の利子は命だってのかよ。そんなのまるで悪魔の契約じゃねえかよ。それで魔女気取りってわけか。笑わせやがるぜ。
特別条項。ただし隠された契約の黄金を暴いた者が現れた時、ベアトリーチェはこの権利を全て永遠に放棄しなければならない。黄金の隠し場所についてはすでに金蔵様が私の肖像画の下に碑文にて公示されております。つまりこういうことだね。もしこの殺人が利子の回収行為だというなら、それを止める条件としておじい様に与えた隠し黄金を探し出してみろとこう言ってるんだよ。そしてその秘密は例の肖像画の碑文に隠されているとも言ってる。
つまりこいつは魔女様の挑戦状ってわけか。黄金の隠し場所を記した暗号文を解けるものなら解いてみろと。そしてそれができなきゃ利子の回収をこの後も着々と進めていきますと。
Yeah, the collection of interest will continue until the morale improves.
ぶっ殺してやる。上等だ。
バトラ君、これ。
What? Where? これ Where? Look where? The table had been full of sweets, so even though they had been right in the open, we had assumed they were just sweets. I mean, come on, you find stuff like this a lot, right? Oh! Oh, so maybe she really did present them with the gold? You know, boxes of chocolate shaped like golden ingots. Wait, maybe she did really...
こりゃお菓子の箱じゃねえぞ。
Maybe she really did do the... So anyway, I started blasting.
本物だ。こりゃ本物の金塊だ。
片翼のわしの紋章が刻印されてる。前に母さんが話してたのを聞いた。これはおじい様の黄金伝説の金塊だよ。
Gold ingots, 3 of them, weighing a full 10 kilograms each, were piled up in the very center of the table. 3? It was where the cake would be placed if it was a birthday party. In other words, this was without a doubt the birthday cake of the party known as the family conference.
これが本当に純度49のインゴットだったなら。
Whatever 49s mean. How much?
6000万円くらいの価値はある。
Oh, that's a lot.
バカ野郎安すぎる。俺たちの親が6人も殺されて、そこに積まれた黄金がたったの6000万円だとバカにするんじゃねえ。
Oh, come on, Rosa, do your job.
さあ始まったねベアトリーチェ。どうせこの謎は誰にも解けないよ。だから絶対にベアとの勝ち。早く黄金鏡への扉を開いて。
Why don't you go to the Golden Land
そ
first?
してマリアを連れてって。
Smack her. Okay, well that works too. Okay, so what time is it now? Guess it was 6. What? No. Okay, cool. No time forward.
どうか気をお静めください。
誰が犯人かはまだ分かりませんぞ。それにベアトリーチェ様は親方様の大切な賓客です。
だからなんだってんだ。本人の胸ぐらひねり上げてやれば白状するに決まってるぜ。
Well, does she have a collar?
目を
That's the
見れば
question.
わかるんだよ。私が見破ってやる。
What are you, a lie detector?
何が魔女だ。ベアトリーチェだ。
Yeah, 何か魔女だ、何か魔法。
化けの皮を剥いでやる。
Him. Jessica never stopped moving. Gora and Cannon chased after her, doing their best to convince her, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinso wouldn't let them in this room, and yet the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room after their other shapeless master. Jessica also knew this, and she couldn't stand that woman's arrogance in calling herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? To Jessica, she was nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, make her give painful excuses. Make her spit at the ground painfully. Make her breathe painfully. What are you, a prosecutor from Ace Attorney? No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her that she's just stinking, sweaty woman. Jessica hit the door to the VIP room while yelling with all of her strength. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound was the beating of her anchor's hammer, whose message was clear. If the woman didn't open the door, she would break it down. There was no answer. Jessica twisted the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt like the resistance. She felt the resistance of the lock. Jessica turned to the two servants and spat out at them demandingly.
マスターキーで開くんでしょ。開けて。
お嬢様、それは大変な失礼に当たります。
Who cares? Although Goda was frustrated, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Cannon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket.
カノンさん、いいんですか？
いいです。
もしおられたなら、無礼になるのは承知です。
But I know that she wouldn't be there because she's my imaginary friend.
それに、もしベアトリーチェ様が何の関係もないというなら、それを僕たちに釈明して納得させればいい。そうだぜ、その通りだ。借りるぜ。
Jessica snatched the master key from Cannon's hand and wildly shoved it into the keyhole. Immediately, there was a light sound and she felt it unlock. And without excusing herself, she flung open the door. My eyes! Jessica lewdly barged into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen. Toilet, could be. Jessica, thinking that she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely were signs that the bed had been used, and although it's an odd way to say it, the atmosphere in the room had grown a little softer. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room, but she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice yet. They had only been told by those who had met her that she was the spitting image of the person in the portrait, so they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Canon alone had met her, and he understood what kind of being that witch was and what kind of character she had. So he knew that if they were to force their way in here searching for her, she wouldn't let things go as they planned. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere sneering at us. She's the kind of person because he was looking at things that way. Canon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shape of a person, so they hadn't noticed. What are they talking about? Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of written paper. It was accompanied by a short message and a fountain pen, which had probably been used to write it. Canon understood the witch. The witch would definitely ridicule them as they found the 6 corpses, forced their way in here in rage, and were unable to find her. Ridicule has no meaning unless it is communicated. So in other words, this was definitely that. Oh, tell me more. Jessica quickly dashed over and violently stole the piece of paper. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength now. What happened? As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into the wild rage, crumpled the paper up, and threw it. What the? Then she grabbed a table lamp that was by the side of the bed and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls and furniture with it. Why? The light bulb shattered at once and scattered its shards across the room. Calm yourself, you little beast. The Furniture Alliance will not stand for this furniture mistreatment. This was written on the paper.
私がぬくぬくとここであなたが飛び込んでくるのを待ちぼうけるとでも
You coward! I thought you were the witch. Why would you care?
素敵な夜に粗暴なるあなたは似合わない。こんな間抜けに育てた親はどんな顔
Oh, sick burn, Kulman.
見たよ。本当にそっくりな間抜け面。
How dare you!
今はお菓子の国でお腹いっぱい。
It sounded like something that witch would write. It meant that she had predicted that one of the children who had lost their parents would come running in here. If she was hiding somewhere in this room, she would surely be rolling around with laughter. The witch was the kind of person she sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years.
これはお渡しください。お怪我をなさいますと申し上げております。
Me! Tube?
話せって言ってたよ。
No! Goda grabbed the table lamp Jessica had been swinging around and took it from her. Interestingly, Jessica has no asthma onset right now. Because she kept swinging it around, she might hit something and get injured. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage burning with the flames of anger. But Kanon's eyes saw it differently. Those were probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. Therefore, when at the moment the table lamp was taken from her, Jessica dropped to the floor almost as if groveling and started crying and scratching at the carpet. Goda was surprised, but Canon was not. Her way of crying by brandishing her anger had been stolen from her, so this was inevitable. Considering that she was a daughter of the Ushinomiya main family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet breathed and scratched at it. Jessica cried very hard, because if she didn't, her legs would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that letter's humiliating message. What kind of faces must your parents have had after raising you to be such a helpless fool? That smash card was something. Yeah! Surely. Yeah! Yeah, I saw them. They had perfectly stupid faces just like you. Now they are in Candyland with their berries all full. Oh, she's going Super Saiyan. But calm down. Oh, there we go. As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her ran up to her hurriedly and laughed at her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath. Well, we're busy. Oh wow, that's a bring her to me. Wow, that's a bossy attitude. I hope she's okay. Jessica got up unsteadily, and as her asthma continued, she went out into the hallway. Yeah, leave this to me. I'll take care of her, if you know what I mean. Gouged the head and kill. Canon had noticed Goda was much older, probably couldn't feel the tears in Jessica's heart. Canon, who had noticed that himself, had to support her.
Canon-san, いいのですか?
Remove her lungs? Yeah, that works too, huh?
今のお嬢様には涙を流す時間も必要なのだと思います。ご両親のあんな死に方を目の当たりにしては。
I know, right?
そうですね。
Goda also understood, and he also knew of the modest relationship that Jessica and Canon shared, so he understood everything and left it to Canon.
わかりました。私はローザ様のところへ戻ります。お嬢様をくれぐれもよろしくお願いしますよ。
はい、お任せを。
Canon's voice was frail, but he nodded forcefully. After looking at his eyes, Goda also nodded forcefully. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He had seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew of the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who had self-control. He had seen that clearly in Canon's eyes, therefore he would leave this to Canon. Thinking about it, this was This may have been the first moment that Goda had trusted Kanon and relied on him for a job. It seemed Jessica was heading towards her room, leaning against the wall as she suffered from her asthma. Kanon followed after her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have jumped over and supported her, but as long as Jessica didn't ask for that, I thought she couldn't ask because of the asthma. He hid himself, watching over her from a distance where he could come to her rescue at any time, as Canon remained in the spot where 10 billion people would hope for someone else to be when their hearts felt like they would explode from sadness. He suddenly watched Jessica's back. Then finally, she was crouching into the door to her own room. The asthma attack has stolen all of her strength. The asthma attack has stolen all of her strength. But right now, Jessica wasn't thinking that she wanted someone to lend a hand, because she still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Because even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, right now, Jessica would start wanting to grab it and lacerate it. And she understood how unreasonable that would be. Until she could overcome the flames of her anger, she definitely wouldn't ask for help. Probably Jessica no longer even had the willpower to call for help, but Canon heard it. He definitely heard it. Canon definitely heard that voiceless call for help, which is shared by those who across the world who are grieving, and which, though they scream and scream, cannot be heard by anyone. Canon softly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. This narration is a bit long, don't you think? Even as Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked her room, and entered.
こちらへ。今、お薬をご用意します。
Jessica had often said that when she let her asthma run its course, it hurt so badly that it felt like she would vomit her whole stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered, and yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. Even after her sit on the bed, Canon took an inhaler from a cute basket on the side table by the bed and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to walk around with her medicine. When it seemed that this was the case, Canon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit to the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself, as though wondering how, after failing to bring it with him on a day like this, he could call himself furniture. Then he remembered the day when he had spoken that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings, which jarred Canon's heart. But compared to Jessica's current sadness, he thought of that as a far more shameless emotion, and he suppressed it to the depths of his heart. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But the strength and willpower she had lost wouldn't allow her to rise up from the bed. Good God, the narration is so long! Okay, scene transition.
大丈夫ですか?
I'm sorry, this one is a bit short, but I'm a bit tired. Well, especially from the OneDrive incident. So yeah, I'll have to edit here for now, unfortunately, but I'll probably continue tomorrow because now that there are mystery. Oops, sorry, I bumped the mic. Now that there's a mystery, the plot thickens. So yeah, with that, allow me to unfortunately end it here for now. I'm sorry it was really quickly. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll be seeing you the next time. And please take care of yourself, and goodbye.